So imagine you have three beautiful children by this one guy. Y'all ignore the hair, it will be done soon. Baby, after what this woman did. My hair is tea after what she did. But anyway, we're about to get into it. Imagine you having three beautiful children. You get married to their father. Hello, hey. You get married to their father. You and the father both cheat on each other. And y'all live in Florida at this time, okay? Get a house. He tells you, I guess he told her he was going to the store, getting a cigarette. I don't know what her husband told her, but he left and moved all the way to Texas, okay? To be with his mistress. You move and pack your kids just randomly, left this beautiful home that was rent to purchase, that had a pool in Florida. You just up and put everything in a U-Haul that you could and drove all the way to Texas in a diaper. You put on a diaper. Y'all, she put on a diaper and moved to Texas to try to get her husband back. Now, she almost had him back. And because she went to the apartment that he was sharing with his mistress, and he packed all his bag, his stuff, put it in her car, but for whatever reason he changed his mind. Now, why he changed his mind, I don't know. He changed his mind. So he goes back to into the mistress home. He takes the stuff back to the mistress home. Now, it could have been that she was messing around with other men, she was messing around with a few people. And also she messed around with his nephew. So that may have played a major part into why he decided not to leave his mistress at the time. And yeah. So at this time, you still have your kids. This woman still has her kids. And she leaves Texas and go to Florida because she's thinking that if she leaves Texas and go to Florida, he will eventually come running after her and leave his mistress in Texas. Instead, he files for divorce. Not only does he file for divorce, she acts like she filed for divorce. But no, he files for the divorce and then files for full custody. During this time period, she starts dating, who I love to watch, Zolo Bands. Y'all check out his channel. Love him and Donald. They are so funny to me. I love them. She starts dating Zolo Bands, okay? Zolo and her relationship is like this. And they break up, okay? And he talks mad trash about her. But before he broke up, he went over to her house and was recording her and said, "What about the pregnancy?" She said, "There's no pregnancy." He said, "See, I told you, you need to stop doing that. That cocaine, you need to stop doing that." He records all this. She dashed bleach on him and all that type of stuff. Child, funny. And he leaves. And then that's when him and Donna wind up getting together. And now we have the new odd couple, a.k.a. Zolo Bands, or Zolo Bands, a.k.a. the new odd couple. I love them. But anyway, so she's pregnant. Even though she lied to him and said there's no baby. And she gets on the internet and say that the father is a police officer and he's a Jamaican. And this is his first child. He got an elephant room for the baby. He can't wait for the baby to get here. She goes into labor. He's a police officer. He's like dashing to the hospital in this hurricane storm trying to get their child. No. I think her sister was there with her when she had her beautiful youngest son. And so anyway, so after he was born, she kept the baby off the YouTube streets because she didn't want nobody to see. Damn, that baby looked just like Zoe. And so one day she popped up and you could see a reflection of the baby. I think it was like a mirror back of a mirror or something. And all you could see was her and Zolo in this child face. Beautiful baby. Beautiful, gorgeous baby. Little boy. And so word on the street is, what up, nephew? Word on the street is, dang, that's Zolo baby. So then she has a aha moment and misses her oldest 3 kids, want to be in their life. We're not going to get into the activities like the footballs and stuff like that, but she misses her children that's in Texas. She moves to Texas again. Get an apartment in Texas. No, let me go back. She's still in Florida. At this time, she's still friends with my jazz life. According to my jazz life, she is mentally going do. She gets pregnant, according to my jazz life, by somebody that she met off of POL, and the man to this day probably don't even know that he has a daughter out there. She gets pregnant. At the very last moment of her pregnancy, she moves back to Texas. And she films herself going to the hospital, delivering her beautiful youngest child. A little girl. It's a beautiful little girl. Hey, Strawberry Starlight. I like that name. Beautiful baby girl. And she's telling everybody about how, you know what, she moved back and forth to Texas a couple of times. So I'm not sure if she got pregnant in Florida or in Texas, because she moved to Texas, moved back to Florida, then moved to Texas again. And between that time period, it was a whole bunch of times. But the woman will just win, okay? And so, anyway, she had the baby here in Texas, damn it. Beautiful baby. And she claimed that this baby father name is Joey. Now, first he was in jail. He wasn't in jail. Then it was a complicated relationship. Then he lived in Florida. Then he lived in New York. Then he lived in New Jersey. Then he was back in Florida. But then he had wanted to move to Texas with her and the baby. Then he couldn't move to Texas with her and the baby because he had to move back to New Jersey. Then he had to move back to New York because he had other children there. Then coming to find out he's so-called married. It's just a whole bunch of stuff with the imaginary last baby father, Joey, okay? That nobody ever seemed to have seen, known, heard about, or anything, okay? Anything. But one thing for sure is POL. I believe Jasmine. Yes, I do. So, during this time period, Zolo Bands helps give little details to her husband, and her husband was able to get full custody of her oldest 3 children. And she's all on social media, going all crazy, going ham, just doing all kind of just stupid, crazy stuff. Just everything. Just everything. Talking about people, dead people. Like really making fun of her ex-husband's sister child passed away, and she made fun about that. Like, she made jokes about how the tragedy was. This is how sick and twisted in the head this woman is. And then when someone pokes at her, she wants to play Karen or cry or act like everybody's coming after me, everybody's bullying me. Or she goes to the court and file papers and say that you threatened her. Baby, I wish she would. So anyway, so she's here. Her mom is here. She files a report on Jazz because she made false allegations that Jasmine child, well, two of Jasmine children, I believe, was SA'd by her last baby daddy. Jasmine has two baby daddies. Her last baby daddy. By Jasmine being a victim of that at her younger age, of course, it triggered her. And she was about to make that drive from Austin to Dallas and whoop somebody. She was about to whoop some Steve Austin. Okay? So she put out a charge out on Olivia. Olivia put a charge out on Jasmine. Child, I'm just drinking water. Just in case y'all like, what? I'm drinking water. This story is so twisted. I'm telling you, it's twisted, y'all. So, anyway, Jasmine didn't even know that she had a terroristic threat on her. Till one day, Jasmine was in the car with the Chillins. Her Chillins, y'all. And she got pulled over for not using her blinker. Tail light was out or something like that. One of them, something like that. And child, the police officer tell her to step out the car, come around to the back. She did it. He's like, you got a warrant for your arrest. And child, Jasmine done been hauled off to the clanger. Baby Jazz came on her channel. It's still on there. It's still on there. Go on up over there and watch Jazz get out of jail video. Like the video, show her some support. And she tells everybody about how it happened. Her baby daddies get her out. $500 was the bond, y'all. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but $500 was the bond. I think it was probably 25 cents or something. If not, we're just going to add it on. It was $500.25. She appeared in court. It was dismissed. And she got her money back. So, good thing for Jazz. But anyway, back to this crazy ass mofo. Her children, she had visitation, right? With the oldest three. They were at her house. And people was in her life saying, your ex-husband got married. She was like, he's not married. He would have told me. So she called for her oldest daughter and said, your dad married? The oldest daughter like, huh? She didn't know. She didn't know. But the ex-husband really did get married at the court. When they went to the courthouse and got married. And apparently the children didn't know. Apparently they were waiting to tell the children. Or maybe they knew how Olivia was going to freak out. Because baby, she did. When it hit the fan. Baby, let me tell you. He took his wife. He had the audacity. Take his wife on a trip. And the wife put something about some check, babysitter check. And what she meant by the babysitter was that the oldest three, her now children, not stepchildren, I don't like to say stepchildren, her now new additional children was with their mom. And baby, Olivia did not like that. And baby, she started dropping all kind of tease, okay? Started talking about how her and the ex-husband was still Somebody rockin', knockin' the boots. Ooh, baby. Baby, I was hooked up on the couch. The youngest child apparently took a picture. Some people say it's not really him because there is another picture floating around of her at the gym when she was on her weight loss journey. And there was another young man kind of with the same stature of her ex-husband. So some people is standing there talking to her. So some people is saying that was actually him. And then she goes on when people was doubting her, even after she shows that picture, and actually plays audio of her and her ex. Somebody rockin', knockin' the boots. I mean, I was like, lady, don't you know your children watch your videos? And they friends and they teachers and the principal and the pastors? Like, I mean, if you're going to release something like that, get paid for it on OnlyFans. Baby, I would have. OnlyFans. Y'all want to know this tea? OnlyFans. I'm like, see, this is why I used to say I used to want to meet her, because I don't know who her publicist is. It's in her head. She got all these people in her head. But she needs somebody outside her head to be her publicist. Because, baby, I would have took that over to OnlyFans and got paper. Even if it was an old, which to me personally, I think it was an old video. Now, could he do it? The question that always was out there was, would he circle back? It's a possibility. But I don't know, y'all. I don't think so. I don't think so. For one, the way them kids' mouth was, baby, they would have been said that he was up over there. Not one time when them children was at her house, they mentioned that, and especially her youngest child. Baby, he would have been like saying his name. We're going to call his name Jonathan. He would have been like, Jonathan, 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 Jonathan. Baby, not one time was he calling Jonathan name. Which led me to believe that I don't think that he was over there. I don't think he was over there. But anyway, all of a sudden, child, now I don't know if the wife, look if you book, wild look if you book, wild look if you book. But Olivia moved to Florida. Moved with her sister. Enrolled in school. Wanna change her life around. She done took out the MAGA hat and put on the Christian hat. I was like, that's a beautiful thing. Then next thing you know, when she gets a roommate and says she's in some type of assistance where you be like in a housing, you roommate with somebody in the state of Florida, help you get your own place. I said, do she not know who in office? The lies. The lies. Does she not know who in office? And so then all of a sudden, one night, summer night in Florida, she comes on late at night with her children in the car. The back seat of the SUV, her mobile, just piled up with stuff. And she says she homeless. Need help to get a room. Homeless. A whole week. She did this for a whole week. And within that week, she would like put water on her youngest child. Act like it was so hot she put water on her youngest baby. The baby just coughing. Sick as hell. She don't give a damn. She just want the donations, child. Talk about she need donations to get a room. People like, prove you going to a room. So she like, damn, I gotta take some of this money and really, okay, let me find the cheapest room that I can pay for and show these people I'm at a room. So she do that and show the world she's at a room. One time. Then shortly after that, people like, well, you know, why you won't show us more? And I mean, she's getting thousands of donations. Alexa, turn off alarm, baby. She's getting thousands of donations. Then all of a sudden, she started hitting around about getting on the Greyhound going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, she's in an office where you can only see like the whiteboard. But child, she messed around and did this. Moved the chair. And everybody was like, wait a minute, that's the same chair she used to sit in when she lived with the roommate. I'm like, y'all just, why people so stupid? I knew she was on a damn runaway vacation from jump. Child, next thing you know it, she says she thinks she's pregnant. She take her children. They go to a grocery store. She got her children, 2 youngest children, and she actually takes a pregnancy test in front of these kids. And the sad part is when the test came back positive, because people are not sure, we gonna get into that. Her son was like, what's wrong, mommy? I'm here to help. It was so touching to hear that baby say that. But I was like, why would you do that in front of your children? Stuff like that they can remember. Even though they're 3, stuff like that they can remember. And so anyway, she claims she gonna get an AB. She claimed that the baby daddy don't want to get an AB. He in jail. And the sister is calling her up and he's forcing her to keep the baby. Then she said he's forcing her to keep the baby, but she got an appointment on the Monday that was coming up to see her choices. Then all of a sudden it went from seeing her choices to her doing the AB. So then the day before the AB, she said tomorrow is going to be the hardest day to get through, but we're going to get through it. So that day come, and the day after that, baby, the day after the AB allegedly, baby, she is on the treadmill working out for her life. Like somebody said, if you don't lose 2 pounds by the end of the day, baby, you ain't getting this $10 million. I say ain't never in the history of womanism seen a woman get an AB and the next day she on the treadmill like that. But she was. So then, all of a sudden, recently, she was at the airport. And now, guess what? Today, she's on live back in her apartment that she left here in Texas. Baby, when I say the scammer, you got Trump, Elon Musk, and then her. Top 3 scammers of the year. Have a great day, y'all. Remember to treat people with kindness because you never know what they're going through. Love, peace, soul, and hair grease. Y'all, Olivia, child. Jasmine tried to tell you. We all try to tell you. Child.